The SEC has long been the dominant force in college football recruiting, and even with the rise of the transfer portal, the league continues to reign supreme. For instance, Mississippi State signed two top in-state recruits, linebacker Tishon Willis and quarterback Kamario Taylor, and one of the top junior college prospects, defensive back Tony Mitchell. Despite ranking 32nd nationally as of Wednesday evening, the Bulldogs class stood out, finishing second to last in the SEC, but second overall in the Big 12 behind only TCU. Now, let's dive into how the 2025 recruiting cycle shaped up for the SEC's top programs. At the top of the list is Texas, ranked number 1 nationally. The Longhorns secured key recruits like defensive back Jonah Williams, wide receiver Caleb Lockett, and wide receiver Michael Terry III. Terry's signing was especially crucial, cementing Texas' number 1 ranking. A big win came when they flipped cornerback Cade Phillips from LSU, and 15 of their 24 recruits are homegrown talents from Texas. Georgia follows close behind at number 2. Kirby Smart continued to build his defensive juggernaut, with top recruits like defensive lineman Elijah Griffin, linebackers Isaiah Gibson and Zayden Walker, and a standout tight end in Elias Williams. Their deep secondary and defensive line class fully displays the Bulldogs' defensive prowess. Alabama takes number 3 with a class that continues to impress under coach Nick Saban's successor. Key recruits include quarterback Keelan Russell, offensive lineman Michael Carroll, and defensive back Dijon Lee. With the expected departure of Jalen Milroe, Russell will have a chance to compete for the starting job. Auburn is ranked number 6 and shows significant promise under Hugh Freeze. The Tigers added defensive lineman Jared Smith and Malik Autry, along with quarterback Deuce Knight, who will compete for early playing time. This class could be the key to Auburn's return to SEC prominence. LSU ranked number 8, but it had some challenges. However, it secured critical wins, including bringing in cornerback DJ Pickett and running back Harlem Berry. Berry's big playability will immediately help LSU's offense. LSU's defensive backfield is bolstered by multiple signees, including a few 5-stars. Texas A&M came in at number 9, adding players like offensive lineman Lamont Rogers and wide receiver Jerome Miles. Texas A&M's defense looks set under coach Mike Elko, who is focusing on building up the offensive side of the ball, especially with Miles, a key wide receiver recruit from California. Tennessee rounds out the top 10 at number 10. The Volunteers brought in defensive lineman Isaiah Campbell and Marion Dye and tight end Deson Brame, a top target for rising quarterback Nico Iamaleava. With 6 defensive linemen signed, Tennessee's defensive front looks formidable. Florida, ranked number 11, is rising with key recruits like wide receiver Vernell Brown III, cornerback Ben Hanks Jr., and edge rusher Jaden Woods. Despite some early season struggles, the Gators were able to hold off in-state rivals like Miami and Florida State for key prospects, making this a strong finish to their class. At number 14, Mississippi had a solid class that included wide receiver Caleb Cunningham and offensive lineman Devin Harper. Cunningham, who had initially committed to Alabama, flipped to Ole Miss late, bolstering their expansive receiver room. Oklahoma, ranked number 16, secured a big win in keeping offensive lineman Michael Fasusi and Ryan Fodge on signing day. While the Sooners didn't land as many skilled players, their strong offensive line haul will be crucial for their future success. At number 18, South Carolina made a statement by securing talented players like wide receiver Brian Rowe to help quarterback Lonorris Sellers. The Gamecocks have focused on bolstering their passing game with several key recruits at receiver. Arkansas, ranked number 28, continued to build its roster, adding players like linebacker Tavian Wallace and quarterback Madden Iamaleava, the younger brother of Tennessee's starter. Iamaleava will be a name to watch in the coming years. Kentucky, number 29, is focused on bolstering its defense, securing top local talents like defensive back Andrew Purcell and tight end Mikkel Skinner. Coach Mark Stoops has continued to build strong in-state recruiting efforts. Mississippi State's 32nd ranked class added key prospects like Willis and Taylor, with Taylor having the chance to step in and lead the offense early on. While the Bulldogs rank low, this class represents a solid foundation for future success. Finally, Vanderbilt, ranked number 71, had the smallest class in the SEC. The Commodores signed only 13 players, and will likely rely on the transfer portal to fill their roster needs for the 2025 season. Overall, the SEC remains the most dominant conference in recruiting, with top-notch classes across the board. While some teams, like Mississippi State or Vanderbilt, may have a lower-ranked class, the depth and talent across the conference ensure the SEC remains the standard in college football.